Good morning students. Today I have to continue with the last lecture that was on the structural discussion of hemoglobin and myoglobin. I am showing you the same structure that we had discussed in the last class. This is the structure that we had discussed in the last class where I told you about the coordination between iron 2 and the porphyrin ligand. Then the fifth position, it was occupied by the imidazole group of the histidine residue of the long polypeptide chain attached to the central iron atom, or it is making a link between complete heme group and the globin part, right? So both of these together were making hemoglobin. The heme group and the globin part together were making hemoglobin. This total structure, this was showing you the occupancy of 5 coordination sites around iron, where the 6th site I told you that as long as this is deoxymyoglobin or hemoglobin was occupied by water molecules. Next we have to continue with the same lecture. That here I want to tell you that in the beginning of this bioinorganic chemistry, I told you that during formation of this porphyrin ligand, we will be having in the center a hole which can accommodate the transition metals of first transition series, like nickel or iron or any transition metal of the first entry. Means this whole size, this is compatible to the size of the elements of first transition series. Now as in this heme group, we have made addition of iron in 2 plus oxidation state, right? So as you will be going through the electronic configuration of iron in 2 oxidation state, you will see that in 2 oxidation state, as long as this is deoxyhemoglobin or deoxymyoglobin, iron in 2 oxidation state, as long as this is deoxyhemoglobin or deoxymyoglobin, this will be having an electronic configuration 3d6. And as long as I am telling you that as long as this is deoxy form, the ligand field provided by porphyrin ligand and the histidine residue, this will be weak in nature, giving rise to a high spin complex, right? So in case of deoxyhemoglobin or deoxyhemoglobin or myoglobin, you will be having iron 2 in 3d6 oxidation state, and as the ligand field provided is weak, you will be getting a high spin complex with distribution of electrons in this way. Means in T2g orbitals you will be having 4 electrons, and EG orbital you will be having 2 electrons. The complex will be high spin in nature, therefore distribution of electrons in EG orbitals will be in this way. Means single electron in each of the orbitals. So if you have gone through the Jahn-Teller distortion, you can compare this electron distribution with the metal ligand bond distance, right? So the presence of electrons in EG orbitals will be leading to the repulsion of the ligand with respect to metal ion. Means the metal ligand bond, this will be metal ligand, means metal nitrogen bond, iron nitrogen bond, this will be longer and was found to be of the order 218 picometers, right? So or you can say that because of the presence of 2 electrons in EG orbitals, electronic repulsion towards ligand will be there, giving rise to a larger ionic radius of iron in 2 plus state. Larger ionic radius, it was found to be of the order 92 picometers in deoxyhemoglobin or deoxymyoglobin. So what was found next, that this higher radius, this higher ionic radius, because of the high spin complex form of deoxyhemoglobin or myoglobin, this was more as compared to the whole size provided by the 4 nitrogens of porphyrin ligand. Means this ionic radius of iron, this was not comparable to fit into the whole size provided by the porphyrin ligand, right? So if this iron 2 in low spin, in high spin form in deoxyhemoglobin or myoglobin is not compatible to the whole size, so what will happen as a result, that this iron, this will not be fitting into the plane provided by 4 nitrogens of porphyrin ligand. Remember that these 4 nitrogens of porphyrin ligand, these were coplanar, means these were giving rise to a square planar arrangement with respect to iron center, which was expected, but exactly this is not a complete coplanar structure as long as you are dealing with deoxymyoglobin or deoxyhemoglobin. So I am telling you that initially in deoxy form, the ionic radius of iron 2, because of presence of 2 electrons in Eg orbitals, because of high spin complex form, this resides, the iron 2, it resides above the plane provided by 4 nitrogens of porphyrin ligand. Right. So exactly, if you want to compare with an example of your routine life, you can compare this above the plane structure or non-coplanar structure of deoxymyoglobin or hemoglobin with that of an umbrella. Right. So this is roughly the structure of an umbrella, where nitrogens, these are present in a plane, and above this plane here, the dome shape, you will be having the presence of iron. Right. So iron, this is not exactly lying into the plane provided by 4 nitrogens of porphyrin ligand, but this is residing slightly above by a distance 42 picometers above the plane provided by 4 nitrogens of porphyrin ligand. Means as a result, this is giving a dome shaped structure initially to deoxymyoglobin or deoxyhemoglobin. Right. So you have to make a correction here into your notes also. In some of the books this is written as 70 picometers, in some this is 40 or 42, exactly as I had seen in the book of Huhi, which is a very well known book to you of inorganic chemistry. The ionic radius is 42 picometers. So please make a correction into your notes also, that this radius, this distance by which iron resides above the plane provided by 4 nitrogens of porphyrin ligand, this is 42 picometers. Right. So initially, as long as you are dealing with myoglobin or hemoglobin in deoxy form, the iron, it gives you a dome shaped structure, iron residing above the plane of 4 porphyrin nitrogens. Right. Next, now this makes a very important this gives you a very important results leading towards cooperativity effect of hemoglobin. Right. So which is seen in case of hemoglobin, that we have to move by this discussion, towards which we have to move by this discussion today. Right. So next, now this I was telling you about deoxyhemoglobin or deoxymyoglobin, that in this case iron, this will be iron because of high ionic radius will be residing above the plane, not fitting into the hole provided by 4 nitrogens, lying above the plane of 4 nitrogens, not coplanar in structure. Right. Next, now when oxygen binds in case of hemoglobin or myoglobin, as soon as oxygen binds to the structure, right, binds to the structure, remember that this 6th position, this I had shown you in the last class, was occupied by water molecules. So as long as oxygen comes in contact with the octahedral hemoglobin or myoglobin, oxygen replaces water molecules and occupies the 6th site. Right. Now I have drawn here the structure. Here in the structure I have shown you the bent form of iron oxygen bond. Means iron O2 bond, this is bent in form. This is because of the steric overcrowding of the 6th site. Right. Means the 6th coordination site, this is overcrowded because of the presence of bulky groups on the side, on the remaining 5 sides with respect to iron. So 6th site, this is sterically overcrowded, which does not allow or does not provide enough space for straight binding of oxygen. Means it does not provide enough space for a straight iron oxygen bond. Right. Therefore the joining of this oxygen gives rise to FeO2 bent bond. Right. Now, so the first point you have to note down, that during binding of oxygen to iron for formation of oxymyoglobin or hemoglobin. Right. So next, now we have to see that what will be happening to the high spin form of complex in deoxymyoglobin for formation of oxymyoglobin or hemoglobin. Right. So as the oxygen binds to deoxymyoglobin or hemoglobin, giving rise to oxy form of the complex, the binding of oxygen provides a strong ligand field towards myoglobin or hemoglobin. Right. So the complex formed by joining of oxygen to myoglobin or hemoglobin for oxymyoglobin or hemoglobin, the oxygen binding, it provides a strong ligand field. Oxygen provides a strong ligand field resulting in conversion of high spin complex into low spin form, right? So here in this case the iron 2 again present with 3d6 configuration, but now the ligand field provided by oxygen, this is strong, giving rise to a low spin complex in this form and giving you the configuration as T2G6 and Eg0, right? Now here in this case in oxymyoglobin or hemoglobin, you are having no presence of electrons in Eg orbitals, right? Whereas you were having 2 electrons in Eg orbitals in deoxymyoglobin or hemoglobin, right? So during this change means removal or pairing of 2 electrons into the lower T2G orbitals in oxymyoglobin and hemoglobin, the ligands will be approaching or iron nitrogen bond distance, this will be shortening down. So because of the shortening of this iron nitrogen bond, the ionic radius of iron, this will be falling down to 75 picometers, which initially was 92 picometers in deoxymyoglobin or hemoglobin, right? So this change will be taking place in the ionic radius of iron 2 from deoxymyoglobin to oxymyoglobin formation, right? So as we had discussed that as long as it was deoxymyoglobin, the 92 picometer size, this was not fit for the whole size provided by porphyrin ligand, but as it has been changed to 75 picometer during formation of oxymyoglobin, this ionic radius, this will be fit into the whole size provided by 4 porphyrin ligands, giving rise to a coplanar structure with respect to iron of the porphyrin ligand, right? Means in case of oxyhemoglobin or myoglobin, the iron because of spin pairing, because of the strong field nature of oxygen, spin pairing taking place, changing the ionic radius of iron to lower side as compared to the higher 92 picometers, giving the resulting structure of oxyhemoglobin or myoglobin as coplanar, right? So this coplanar structure, by this coplanar structure, the iron you can see is falling down into the hole provided by 4 nitrogens of the porphyrin ligand, right? In simple language I can tell you that इनिशियली जब हम लोग शुरू करते हैं, हम लोग डीऑक्सी हीमोग्लोबिन और मायोग्लोबिन की बात करते हैं जहाँ ऑक्सीजन की बाइंडिंग नहीं हुई, जब तक ऑक्सीजन के कांटेक्ट में नहीं है, आयरन का आयनिक रेडियस ज़्यादा है 92 पिकोमीटर, इसलिए वो जो होल, जैसे हम लोगों ने फर्स्ट क्लास में डिस्कस किया था कि एक होल बन जाता है पोरफायरिन लिगेंड में, उस होल के अंदर फर्स्ट ट्रांजिशन सीरीज़ के एलिमेंट्स फिट बैठते हैं, लेकिन आयरन का रेडियस डीऑक्सी में ज़्यादा है, इसलिए वो उस होल साइज़ के कंपैटिबल नहीं है, इसलिए वो उसके प्लेन से थोड़ा ऊपर रहता है, इतना ऊपर कि वो उसको डोम शेप स्ट्रक्चर प्रोवाइड करता है, जैसे आप लोग छतरी के केस में देख सकते हो, अम्ब्रेला के केस में, राइट, ओपन अम्ब्रेला फॉर्म, राइट. सो दिस डोम शेप स्ट्रक्चर, दिस इज़ नॉट गिविंग यू ए कोप्लेनर फॉर्म. ठीक है, जब इस कोप्लेनर फॉर्म को हम लोग इलेक्ट्रॉनिक कन्फिग्रेशन से कंपेयर कर सकते हैं ऑफ आयरन इन प्रेजेंस ऑफ द वीक लिगेंड फील्ड इन द एब्सेंस ऑफ ऑक्सीजन. लेकिन जैसे ही हम लोग ऑक्सीजन प्रोवाइड करते हैं, जैसे ही ऑक्सीजन से मायोग्लोबिन और हीमोग्लोबिन की बाइंडिंग होती है, ऑक्सीजन स्ट्रॉन्ग लिगेंड फील्ड प्रोवाइड करता है. स्ट्रॉन्ग लिगेंड फील्ड प्रोवाइड करने से हमारा कॉम्प्लेक्स जो है वो लो स्पिन फॉर्म में चेंज होता है और हमारी कन्फिग्रेशन जो है वो T2G6 और Eg0 रह जाती है. अब पहले केस में Eg में 2 इलेक्ट्रॉन्स थे, जिसके कारण लिगेंड्स की रिपल्शन विद रिस्पेक्ट टू आयरन सेंटर ज़्यादा थी, जिसके कारण आपका आयनिक रेडियस ऑफ आयरन वाज मोर. लेकिन इस केस में क्योंकि आपके पास Eg ऑर्बिटल में कोई इलेक्ट्रॉन नहीं है, तो लिगेंड्स जो हैं वो मेटल सेंटर को आसानी से अप्रोच कर सकते हैं, जिससे आपका मेटल लिगेंड बॉन्ड डिस्टेंस जो है वो छोटा हो जाता है. ठीक है, सो सेम इज प्रोवाइडिंग ए लोअर आयनिक रेडियस ऑफ 75 पिकोमीटर्स इन फॉर्मेशन ऑफ ऑक्सीमायोग्लोबिन. जैसे ही रेडियस छोटा होता है, आयरन जो है वो कोप्लेनर स्ट्रक्चर प्रोवाइड कर देता है, मीन्स वो एकदम से पोरफायरिन लिगेंड के होल के अंदर गिर जाता है, राइट. जब वो होल के अंदर गिर जाता है तो यू विल बी गेटिंग ए कोप्लेनर स्ट्रक्चर. ठीक है, अब नेक्स्ट हम लोगों को क्योंकि इसी कंसेप्ट को कोऑपरेटिविटी के ऊपर लेके जाना है, ठीक है, पिछली क्लास में मैंने आप लोगों को बताया था कि आप लोगों को हीमोग्लोबिन और मायोग्लोबिन के डिफरेंसेस को स्टडी करना है, ठीक है। व्हाट इज द मेजर डिफरेंस? बेसिक यूनिट्स आर रिमेनिंग द सेम इन बोथ द केसेस. व्हाट इज द मेजर डिफरेंस? दैट मायोग्लोबिन, दिस इज ए मोनोमेरिक फॉर्म ऑफ टेट्रामेरिक हीमोग्लोबिन. मतलब क्या है कि आयरन के केस में, मायोग्लोबिन के केस में आपके पास एक हीम ग्रुप की प्रेजेंस है, जबकि हीमोग्लोबिन के केस में आपके पास 4 हीम ग्रुप्स की प्रेजेंस है, ठीक है। By knowing this structure we have to move towards the cooperativity effect, which is shown only by hemoglobin, not by myoglobin, right? हीमोग्लोबिन क्यों शो करता है? क्योंकि मायोग्लोबिन में आपके पास सिर्फ एक हीम यूनिट है, एक ऑक्सीजन की बाइंडिंग और काम वहीं पे ख़त्म, राइट। लेकिन हीमोग्लोबिन में क्या होगा, एक हीम ग्रुप से ऑक्सीजन की बाइंडिंग, आयरन अपने होल में गिर जाएगा, आयरन विल फॉल इनटू द सेंटर, विल बिकम कोप्लेनर and provides more affinity for second heme group to join towards the next oxygen molecule. Means जैसे ही पहले ऑक्सीजन की हीम ग्रुप से बाइंडिंग होती है, पहले हीम ग्रुप से बाइंडिंग होती है, अगला जो हीम ग्रुप है वो अपने आयरन को अप्रोच करता है ऑक्सीजन की ओर, राइट। मींस इट बिकम्स प्रोमिनेंट फॉर सेकंड ऑक्सीजन मॉलिक्यूल, ठीक है। मतलब वो ऊपर रह जाता है क्योंकि वो स्टिल डोम शेप है और पहला आयरन जो है वो नीचे गिर जाता है, नीचे बैठ गया, और दूसरा जो है वो अभी भी ऊपर है. इट इंक्रीजेज एफिनिटी फॉर एडिशन ऑफ नेक्स्ट ऑक्सीजन मॉलिक्यूल फॉर द नेक्स्ट हीम ग्रुप प्रेजेंट इन हीमोग्लोबिन. ठीक है, मायोग्लोबिन में हमारे पास एक ही हीम ग्रुप है, इसलिए एक ऑक्सीजन के बाद उसकी वहीं पे ख़त्म हो जाता है काम. ठीक है, लेकिन हीमोग्लोबिन में हमारे पास 4 हैं. पहले हीम ग्रुप से ऑक्सीजन की बाइंडिंग हुई, आयरन नीचे गिर गया, दूसरा ऑक्सीजन प्रोमिनेंट हुआ, नेक्स्ट ऑक्सीजन को अप्रोच करेगा. ठीक है, इसी तरह वो नीचे बैठेगा ऑक्सीजन की बाइंडिंग से, फिर तीसरा प्रोमिनेंट हो जाएगा, वो नीचे बैठेगा तो चौथा प्रोमिनेंट हो जाएगा. राइट, मीन्स विद एवरी एडिशन ऑफ ऑक्सीजन वी आर इंक्रीजिंग एफिनिटी फॉर ऑक्सीजन फॉर द नेक्स्ट हीम ग्रुप्स. राइट, पहले की बाइंडिंग दूसरे हीम के अफेक्ट को बढ़ाती है टू अटैच विद द नेक्स्ट ऑक्सीजन मॉलिक्यूल. राइट, दिस इज नेम्ड एज कोऑपरेटिविटी अफेक्ट और ऑटो कैटेलिटिक अफेक्ट और ऑटो कैटेलिटिक नेचर ऑफ ऑक्सीजन बाइंडिंग ऑफ हीमोग्लोबिन विच इज सीन ओनली इन हीमोग्लोबिन, नॉट इन मायोग्लोबिन. Right, so here I am stopping. In the next class I will be discussing the oxygen binding curve of hemoglobin and myoglobin, but for today up to this point you have to now go through completely the structure of myoglobin, hemoglobin, the dome shaped structure of deoxy forms of myoglobin and hemoglobin, and move towards the cooperativity effect in my notes. Right, also you have to make a correction, as I told you that in your notes I show you that where you have to make the correction. In your notes you had been provided with the square pyramidal structure of myoglobin, deoxymyoglobin. In those notes it was written the above to the plane distance, it was written as 70 picometers. You have to make a correction as per the distance written in Huhi book. This is 42 picometers. Right, so please make a correction here and please go through the notes. Also the maximum important, अपना ध्यान रखो, पढ़ो, थोड़ा थोड़ा करके पढ़ो, कोई बहुत ज़्यादा मुश्किल नहीं है. सबसे पहले अपना ध्यान रखना ज़रूरी है, अपनी हेल्थ का ध्यान रखो, घर में रहो और पढ़ाई की ओर ध्यान करो. राइट, कोई भी प्रॉब्लम होती है बच्चों तो यू कैन डिस्कस विद मी एनी टाइम. किसी भी टाइम आप लोग मुझे चाहे वीडियो कॉल करो, चाहे आप लोग मुझे ऑडियो कॉल करो, किसी भी तरह से कोई भी प्रॉब्लम होती है, या अगर जिस तरह से मैं आपको बता रही हूँ इसमें भी अगर आपको कुछ प्रॉब्लम लगती है तो आप लोग मुझसे डिस्कस कर सकते हैं. राइट, सो दिस इज़ ऑल फॉर टुडे. So next time up to this I have discussed up to cooperativity effect of hemoglobin. hemoglobin का स्ट्रक्चर हो गया, मायोग्लोबिन का स्ट्रक्चर हो गया, डोम शेप स्ट्रक्चर क्यों है वो मैंने आप लोगों को बता दिया, कोऑपरेटिविटी कैसे होगी दैट आई हैव टोल्ड यू. इन द नेक्स्ट क्लास वी विल बी डिस्कसिंग ऑक्सीजन बाइंडिंग कर्व ऑफ मायोग्लोबिन एंड हीमोग्लोबिन. राइट, सो दैट्स ऑल फॉर टुडे. टेक केयर. ओके, सी यू, बाय.